If you want to build off of my notes, let me switch over to the laptop. Like I'm building off of what we talked about on Monday. For those of you that were in Monday's video was posted a couple of days ago. I hope you had a chance to watch it. I took that, I edited out a lot of the green comments, and I added in the person object that we've used in other sections. And I made a little like pre-game, like pre-show lecture, like if you want to copy and paste this and build off of this while I'm doing it, that's what I'm doing. I thought this might be a little easier for you guys to have a good like lecture build. So what were we doing with hash tables and hash functions? Well, we're going to the person for doubt. The hash function acted like it generates, like for a map, we have the key and the value. The hash function allows us to take in something and spit out the key. So we create a key and make an array of stuff. Previously, we were doing we did an array of vectors of integers. And then we went on to do an array of vector of strings. And now vectors are all nice and fine and dandy, but it'd be nice to upgrade this to like a list. Because list has that inbuilt search option. So I've already included list on my thing. And I'll just call this my list table. And we'll make it an array here. So this is an array of lists of strings. So like, how would we do a normal list with a normal list string without an array? My list real quick. We do something like my list, pushback. David is awesome. So we could do something like that. And we push back another. He's the bestest and the westest. And if we wanted to print out this, we could generate like an iterator. And maybe say ITR equals my list dot begin. And to do like do I have a print function here? I copy the void person, the person's got a print function. So we'll just do a regular for an I equals, while, how do we do this? Iterator does not equal the null pointer. Is that what we did before?
My list of it.
So iterator does not equal my list. That sounds good. That's a pretty good way of doing it. We can see out iterate. Ooh. See out iterator.
Dereference.
Yeah, we got dereferences because it's a pointer, right? And then we do ITR plus plus. Talk to advanced, just make sure this works. Let me comment out the rest of this stuff. That's the stuff we did before. Just a quick recap on lists, because Now we want to try to do that with this. So maybe maybe I'll say string. I actually think I have a string down below. I do. Let's copy some of this shit and put it up there. So I already got a user string right there. I can just do like user string equals what I wanted to say. And then we can do like I had a key sign for determining the value here. I can say key equals, we have that hash first character that we created. And we're just gonna pass in user string. And then I got my list table. We want to push back into my list table. I think I'm going to comment out list string. That was just a reminder of what we wanted to do. My list table, we're going to push back into the key spot. We'll push back the user string. Comment that out too. And we could do that again with he's the bestest. Maybe I will bring this back out and just reassign it. We now want to make it do my list table. But that's got to be inside. Let me just say ITR equals it exists. And now we got to expand on this. If I want to do a print loop, I got to do because it's an array first, so we got to go through the array. For int I equals 0. I don't know if you saw this earlier. I'm building on this one, the announcement. I just made it up. So if you want to type directly into it, you copy paste. I equals 0, I less than. We just have 2 for now. We need to do something different about that. I plus plus. Now we need the iterator in here. So we're right here, we're in our first, we want to do my list table. This is what we want to hit. We're hitting my list table. We're starting off with 0. And we want to have it, we want to see out its contents. So I could do, let's see. I could say, we want to do the iterator equals my list table I begin. So we have it just like we did before. We had the begin, but now we're not doing my list dot begin, we're doing my list table I dot begin. And then we'll copy this up, we'll put this in here and adapt it a little bit. Well, ITR does not equal mylist table bracket I dot n. We'll see how, just like we did. Now, this shouldn't be I less than 2. How many array things were there? We set this up so we're doing the first letter kind of thing. Hash for first character is doing first letter, so maybe we should build it off of size, not 2. Size the one I got in there? Yeah, I've got size reference in there. So this should show us the 2 things we just pushed back in there. And one's gonna go under H, and one's gonna go under D. So that works. So maybe we could tell it what bucket we're in. See how changes is in bucket. Do something like that, so we can see that it's not just spitting out shit. It's in bucket 3, is in bucket 7. This drives me nuts. I hate that they start with fucking 0. Because D is the 4th letter of the fucking alphabet. You don't have to really count that much to figure it out. Like H, I'm gonna have to start going A, B, C, doing my fingers. But A, B, C, D, I can do that in my head. So we have a couple options. We can leave it as that and just get over it. I could lie and just make this say I plus 1. That's an option.
You can make it the letter of the bucket as well.
We could make it do the letter,
Like char.
like do char, but we're gonna have to do plus 97, right?
Or 96 to get the, or no, yeah, 97 because 0.
See what that looks like. I like that. I might even try to, let's see, can we do 2 upper on that? Make it a little capitalized, capital official.
Do you 65? To get the capitals as well.
No one likes to show up on. Didn't like that. All right, let's try what you said. I didn't want to. Rude. Some of the things, the functions here, I don't like what it does. Like, when I put my click on it, my cursor next to something, like I do that, it highlights the whole fucking IDR. So if I hit anything, like all I did is just click there and it highlights that. So if I hit space, oh, it didn't fucking do it this time. I swear to God, earlier when I hit fucking space, it just deleted what I write. So sometimes it like auto fills in what it is. Let's see if you're right with the 65. I assume you are. That looks pretty good. That seems like a better way to go. The other option is to say, you know what? Fuck 0. Like, let's use 0 as a dump stat, like a dump bucket. And make it 27, do size 27, and then just the bucket is the bucket it is. Which isn't bad. Let's check that out. Let's do size equals 27. Ooh. I'm gonna go off of that. Because I thought about incorporating this earlier. See, I just clicked there and it highlighted the fucking semicolon. And if I hit space, it deletes it. Dirty motherfucker. I'm gonna go in and call this num buckets char. So we've now kicked it up to num buckets char, we're gonna make it 27. So now I want it to say, I'm gonna do I plus 65 minus 1. No? I don't know, let's see what it looks like with that. I think we're off by a letter. Oh, I pissed it off. How did I piss it off? Sure, I went out of bounds.
Because we're initializing my list table with size, we need to change it to buckets chart.
We're initializing. God damn, you're on fire. He's a better wingman than you are. Maybe I should ask him if he wants to be my SI next to me. No, fuck with you. Yeah, that's what good. Yeah, so apparently, but what bug is it really? Here I just kept the same thing. So I'm gonna change this and just say I and see if it says 4. Yeah, so it's not showing in the right bucket. So if I wanted to do this and put it and just use integers, I could leave it as I plus 1. No, it's still pushing it into that spot. So what I really want to do is tell it the hash function, hash first characters down here. I wanted to do int 10 minus 7 minus 97 plus 1 because I've made it a 27 thing now. So that should put it in slot 4, which is what I wanted to say. And now it'll return 4, but I'm sure that, so that'll return 4 rather than 3 for David. But when we run it, now it's gonna say the wrong char. So this should probably say E now, but category 4. So here I would have to change this to say -1. But now I've got an empty bucket. So this setup has an empty bucket for 0. For my list table bracket 0. We can use this for non-character strings, something that doesn't start with a character. But that's something that we'll have to set up later on. So we adapted this to a string, but I've added person to this thing. So let's take a look at like using a person on this. Any questions so far? Let's comment out this stuff. We might use that again. I'm sure we will. But maybe I'll copy it before I comment it out, because this is the one for the strings, but we're gonna make one for the bucket, and I wanna have copies for both sets. All right, so what did we want to do here? We wanted to make it not a string, but a person. So list person, maybe we should do a person pointer. My people table, my peeps. And we're gonna do num bucket char. So I'm gonna start off with let's just do first names to start off with. Or should we, what do you guys think we should set? How should we break up people? First name, last name. We've got gender. We've got age. Age doesn't seem good because that's gonna change as people get older. Fuck, gender changes. Last name maybe changes. Last name changes more than first names change. But I think if I were doing something, I'd probably want it off the last name. Because that's how like you would look somebody up. Last name, then first name. So let's do last names. So that's how we'll decide to sort. So we need to figure out how we're gonna do this. Well, sorting afterwards. We've got sorting by age. Let's see, person is first name, last name, gender, age. So we've got our table here. Where is it? We got our array here. Maybe just like let's make a new person. Just start off by making a new person, see what we're gonna do from there. New person. David Jones. I think it said 0 was females. I like that it shows the default constructor right here while I'm typing it. That's kind of fucking cool. So you don't gotta go and look up to see what the syntax of the order is. Has it always done that? I feel like it hasn't, or I've been oblivious to it for a while. That's not what I wanted to check though. 0 is female, so 1 for male. David's male, badass male, super macho alpha male. That's right. I gotta, so this person is me. There we go. Let's close that off. So what I would need to do to get the key here, because I want to do what I did before here. I want to be able to have something like this. Because this is what, motherfucker, see there, it just did it. So I wanted to like click here, and now it's not doing it.
Might be, if you double click on a word, it usually highlights the whole word. Maybe you're double click on accident, or maybe your mouse might be double.
It might be. I think it's just trying to fucking piss me off. I'm pretty sure my computer's out to fucking get me. We want to be able to do something like that, but that's not what we're going to push back. But let's see. What I want to pass in here. How do I strip out the Jones? How do I strip out that last name? Well, that we have we could do, we got accessor methods for the person. I could do get last name. So I could pass in me dot get last name. Does that make sense? We use the accessor methods to get the last name. And then we'll push in my peeps into key, but what we're pushing back is unique. And now our print cycle that we want to do. Bring this up above. We're not doing a string iterator, we're doing a person pointer iterator. And I got an ITR down below, so I'll just call this ITR. Wait, I commented it out though. I did comment it out, so I can use it still. Let's do it. We're just gonna leave it as ITR. But we don't have my list table anymore. We have my peeps. And we definitely don't want to do this anymore because we have a display method here. So maybe we'll do my peeps. No, not my peeps. We want to do ITR.display. ITR. Dereference ITR. Put in parentheses. Dereference ITR. There's display. I knew I'd find it. And maybe we'll say cout for bucket I. Why does it not like mypeeps.I? How is I not identified? It's right fucking there.
Oh, you're missing a bracket and after the for loop. There we go.
Guarantee you it's because I clicked on that fucking line, it's just fucking deleted that shit. Telling you, my computer's out to get me. I wanna see what it looks like. I think I might wanna have it do like a little tab. Ew, ew. All right. So we definitely need a cout end line at the end of this. And maybe another end line to separate the goddamn buckets. That's ugly. There we go, so for bucket 10, I don't know, see A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, 10, J is 10. So maybe I wanna, oh, this will probably look better if I had it do, I don't wanna do that. I wanna have a space in there, I don't want it right after the name. And then I will have it do a cout. We'll do a /T. Will that display it right after it, so it indents it a little bit? Let's see if that'll do an indent. Look at that, got me a nice little indent in it, that's sexy. So that's what I did to pull off a little indent. So let's see if, this is not how I want to do it, that's just me pushing in one name. There's probably a better way to do this. But let's add another one that's got like a J in it. So we'll call this next one not me. we'll call this guy James Jameson. Isn't that the guy on Spider-Man? The boss at the reporting place that he's always doing pictures for, Peter Parker? James Jameson? I don't think that's how you spell Jameson, but fuck it, that's what we're using. We won't say he's 48 though. He's probably a little bit older. He looks like he's playing with a fullback. So now I should have 2 people in that bucket.
Jonah Jameson.
Jonah Jameson. How do you spell Jameson?
It's like James and an on.
So it is how I have it, okay, but it's Jonah.
Made by J.K.
So see, it's out of order though. So I'm gonna change that to Jonah though, before we go any further. Must. Maybe if we want to do it, we could have it sort each list that's in the array. So maybe here I'll do it in this little printout that I got going on. For bucket I, maybe we'll do ITR. Dereference. No, I don't want to dereference ITR. Yeah, I do. I want to dereference ITR. Can I do sort? Nope. What am I doing here? Maybe we can do it before. Just do my peeps. Nope, that's what it is. We're sorting inside here. So my peeps, bracket I, dot sort. I don't know if it's gonna sort by the first name or the last name. To find out, I'm gonna change James, because right now Jonah is after David anyways, alphabetically, so maybe I'll change Jonah to A Jonah. Just add A to it, just to see how it turns out. I think the sort's gonna go off the first one, but I don't know, it might just say, how the fuck do we sort? We don't have sort for people. No, yeah, it just didn't do shit, it didn't sort nothing. So it didn't know what to sort on, so it didn't sort. So we need to figure out a way to get it to sort. We want it to sort on last name. So we need to come up with a comparator. Where's my comparator thing up here? We need something like this, but for last name. So we'll call it compare last. And maybe while we're at it, we'll make a compare first in case we want to figure out how to do it later on. Do first, then last, then first. Let's bring these down here. Okay, so if we do it like we had up here, can we just say, like getting age, we did, oh, that was great, we want less than sign. Can we just say our get last name? And get last name here? And maybe if I wanna do the first name, we just change it to first name, get F name. Maybe I'll say compare last name. Let's give it a better name. We don't need to be stingy on the naming. So I'll come back down here in case I went by that too fast. That's what I put for those. I kind of just copied and pasted what we have for age. I changed it to get last name and get first name. And now I'm going to tell it to sort by compare last name. And now I'll put Jameson first. And let's make sure if I change that to compare first name, it should do the same thing. Without the compare in there, it's not gonna do anything. So both of these setups should put Jonah first because I got it as a Jonah. Excellent, excellent. So let's put that back to last. And what do you guys think? Make it so we I don't know, do a user interface? Let's do a user interface. We got user input, we got user string. Let's call it user string 1 and user string 2. First name and last name. We got a Boolean user input and a Boolean gender. Gen input. We'll call user input age input. Please enter the person's first name. I gotta do get line, right? Get line cin user string 1. I can copy this and say last name. Then the person's gender. Zero for female, 1 for male. Sorry about non-binary. This is for teaching purposes. And this was, what did I call this? Gen input. That's not a get line, that's just a regular CN. Person's age. Whole years, please. Now we'll do age input. And I'll put Jonah back as that. All right, we'll just do it for one, and we'll figure out how to make a loop so we can do it as many times as we want. We got one. Excuse me, male. How old are you, 21, 20? 20?
Just became explained.
What letter's O under? O is, I didn't push you in. I did all that and then I didn't push you in. That's just rude. Person pointer equals new person. I gotta give it the name. You equals new person. And we got user string 1, user string 2. We got gen input, and then we got age input. And now we will do this. Okay. All right, there it goes, this is bucket 15. All right, so, okay. Now that we got a way to do a user input, maybe we could do like a do while user response is yes. So like, let's make a user response char. Equals y. Start off as a y. So I can put this in a while loop. While user response equals y. Or user response equals capital Y. Maybe, I don't know that I can keep redefining person that way. So let's do another way of doing this. I could just give this, I don't need to do you get name, I can just do you or hash first character of a user string right now, user string 2. And we can put this inside here and get rid of that. Is that looking good? Oh, and then I gotta ask, would you like to enter another? And cn user response. All right. That look like it might work? Yes. I think I want to put a space in there. Aaron O'Neill. Ah! Was it the apostrophe? Let's try that again.
Could it be like a C not ignore form? Was it the good one?
Because I said Aaron and then I said O'Neill and I had an apostrophe. I want to make sure if I do it without an apostrophe. Yep. So it's still breaking. So what's your theory?
C not ignore. Was it the get line?
Yeah, I was thinking that we need to do that. I do it after each one.
Oh yeah, I did delete that. What the heck?
You see?
Yeah.
You see? This fucking traitorous constantly fucking with my shit.
Try a different mouse sometime. See if that's.
That, you know what? I'm thinking about doing this because this mouse pisses me off for other things. I don't think we need to do it after the regular CNs. All right, let's try that. Oh, maybe I should have done, no, user response should be fine. We're doing one. Oh, what is this?
I think only the first one. The first one wasn't good. I think it was only the second.
I have to hit enter twice now, though. That's annoying. It didn't, I saw it didn't do that, make me hit enter again after this. So what's throwing it off? Do I need to see and ignore after here? Or just, how about see and clear? Will that do it? That went easier. I didn't have to do a bunch of enters.
Oh, let's skip that.
What did it skip?
Please enter first name and then it skips right to the last.
Oh shit, you're right. So that's not working, right?
Wait.
Maybe I don't need that one in there. Let's get rid of that one. Well, trial and error, right?
Let's.
Did it again, skipping the first one.
I think try doing the C and dot ignore only on the last one, and then like comment up. Wow.
I can do this. You tired of typing your name one?
No.
Didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't like work.
They just didn't have a last name. Because the default first name was set to blank. Which is interesting. Because user string user string one had one in it.
Wait, try moving the C and clear to the below the user response.
Did you notice that? It didn't say, the name wasn't Juan Fuck Off. It gave blank fuck off,
Yeah.
which meant it was using the default for user string 1, but user string 1 had Juan stored in it.
So it's there, it's just,
So it was like taking the C in clear and storing that. We'll try that, and then we'll try ignore if that don't work. Cause that was worth there, it like zeroed out the first name. I'm glad I actually followed through on that. There was a learning lesson there. It's doing it again. So, let's see if it says. Do we have blank again on fuck off? Yep. And it capitalized fuck off. I put lowercase, I typed lowercase. I typed lowercase for Juan N. Did we change it so it capitalizes names? Does it capitalize your name? Did we have that in our, that must be part of our person code. Yeah, we got 2 upper in there, okay. So maybe it's, let's just put C and ignore here. Maybe that's what it is.
oh, it's working.
It's progress. Oh, we were doing Aaron, I like Aaron Orsman. That sounds like
Let's go.
cool. Ooh.
Another dope for this one.
What?
Another dope for the books.
And let's add one where it's the last name, the first name is after yours, but the last name is before yours. OR is, Orsman already beat you. So Osterman, that will be after Ordos. Yeah. And this is an old fucker. So we got a lot of O's in there.
Let's go.
And it has sorted them correctly. I think I'm gonna change Aaron and Zach. I didn't hard program it. So we could do a couple things. We could offer to, can we try to figure out how to get it to sort by second? Like if they have the same last name, what happens then?
Go to the H. Or,
Like if we have 2 Ordas,
what's the
am I pronouncing that fucking right?
or dogs or dads?
Ordas or Das, which way is it?
In Spanish it's or less, but
I ain't gonna be able to do that.
that's
I don't know why I can't fucking do the accent right.
yeah.
Don't even try to get me to roll an R. Oh my god. It's fucking a train wreck.
My R's were really hard when I was a kid to do in English, so
Like, let's say we had a couple Joneses here. We already got a Jones in there. Like if I add another Jones, how do we get it to sort by like last name?
or first name, just for doing jobs.
So first name, yeah, you're right. So maybe we could do like, we could edit compare last name. Let's call this compare last name. I'm gonna copy this because I don't know that this is gonna work. Let's call it compare last, then first. Because we're taking in the same person. So this looks like a good line to copy. Real quick, just for like a checker thing. if arg name does not equal arg name, or the second one. If those two don't equal, then return that. Else, I can either have it reference, yeah, probably will, let's do that. Else compare first name.
Or could we might as well like also do the like else if and then do first name comparison? Else.
No, I don't even need to do it, else if. Why the,
Well,
if their names aren't equal, it's gonna return, it's never gonna get to this line.
no, I'm saying like if their first and last name is the same to check onto
Oh,
the age, like using an else if and then.
that's a good idea, all right, let's do that. You have me sold on this. So what do I gotta do? Maybe we'll make this look a little prettier. We'll put some brackets in here. Else. Oh, we got one for that also. Compare age. What is with the fucking gaps in here? You fucking.
But you don't need the person.
Is that what it doesn't like?
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, you're right. Because it's not. That's exactly what it doesn't like. It's like we already know it's a fucking person jackass. It was defined in the fucking program.
And then it just needs the condition for the else if.
Oh, you're right. So let's copy this and change it to get first name.
Just.
And this was called last name, then first, then age. Let's change it to, let's just make it a super duper whammy.
And then you just need the returns before the compares.
Yeah. So this is like a fucking Voltron of comparators. And I gotta go back up top and say last name, then first, then age. That's a fucking mouthful, but it's explanatory. Like no one's gonna look at it and go, I wonder what that does. And it only has to show up fucking here. Wherever the fucking sword is. Where is the sword? There it is. All right, you guys wanna try this? Let's see what we do. See how it falls out. So, we're doing Juan again. Juan's gonna be immortalized in this. So we got him, and we're gonna do it again. And now we'll do a different first name. You got like any sibling?
Yeah, Kevin.
What the fuck?
You have one and then you have Kevin.
How old's Kevin?
He's 12.
Younger.
Yeah.
And now we'll do yes, and then we'll say Juan or Dawes, and then one, and then I don't know. Let's make you old enough to drink. Nope, those are already in order, so I wanna get someone younger. So we're gonna say when you first turned 18, there we go. No. What did it do with our O's? All right, so we got the younger one in, so it did the age, and it put, oh what, Kevin's already after 1. So I don't know that it worked, so I'm gonna run again, I'm gonna do Kevin first. Kevin. What the fuck? All right. There we go. Kevin. 12, 13, what was it?
12. I have another one named Chase.
How old's Chase?
13. Different colors.
Any others?
Quite a few.
Broke it. I wonder what I broke it with. What did I do here? I said Kevin, I said Ordonez, I said 1. Did I go through this too quickly? And we have 1.
That's Myra.
That's what I did wrong, I'm betting. Maybe.
We should like space it out. So.
Yeah, I need to put the space in so it highlights it better. And I even said that the first time I ran it, that I didn't like it that way. And he's 13, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
I have more, but I don't know if you.
How many is there?
I don't know, like 10.
All right, now you've got 10 fucking siblings?
I don't know.
So-
I'm the oldest for my mom, and then second youngest for my dad.
Okay, so
That's like really weird.
so they're not all moms.
Yeah, they're scattered.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, mama's fucking gotta be hating child labor by now.
No.
That's a lot of fucking birth. But, so you're like the fucking Brady Bunch, but too many.
Yeah.
All right, so we also wanted to do one with the younger.
Pancho, Beto, Kevin, Noe, Myra, Lisa.
So it did Chase, and then between you two, it put you in order. And even though we ended Kevin first, it put him last. I think we've got a good ordering system on this name here.
Maybe we should like put the order from like Ordaz would go first and then followed by the like Ordaz.
So just change the display?
Yeah, just to see like the O's.
Okay.
Maybe.
We did say we wanted. Do I want another line out? Yeah, I'm gonna do a new line here. That's probably enough right there. And we're gonna change display to do last name first. That's easy. Get L name, get first name. That looks better. At least lets me see a gap there. That, like, I know that I'm getting prompted for something. What is it gonna do? It's gonna do 1. It needs a comma. But I don't know that I need to do that whole sequence again. I don't like the bucket number. I want to change the bucket number to the bucket letter. For last name starting with and this is where we need to do it to a char. And it's plus 65 for the first letter? I don't know how old she is. 30. So
That's cool.
she's in her queue, so I need to do -1.
That's cool.
Well, 65 is might be clear where it's coming from, and it's clear that I'm doing one to do an index fix, where if I just had I plus 64, someone would be like, what the fuck? So that was for like someone else looking at it. What do you guys think? So I was looking into something. Veronica asked me on Monday night, can you do like vectors and vectors? And I was looking up shit, and I saw some neat stuff, like how to implement a two-dimensional vector. So this is how you can make a matrix. I literally spent like 5 minutes looking this up. So I don't know that I was gonna try to do this for the person, but I think we already just found a quicker way to sort. But like, no, right now, the people are only getting pushed into a last name bracket. So maybe we could edit this. Can we edit this to have a list, like the list of the last name or last character,
And then a separate list.
and then another 26 lists inside that motherfucker for the first character? Let's see what we can do with that. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna copy this shit and then I'm gonna comment it out. Because that's good and I don't wanna fuck it up. Don't fuck up something that's working. All right, now let's up our game. Let's see what we can do. Can we up this to vector or list in list, multi-dimensional lists? So what we'll have is the 26 characters for last name will be the array, our array. And then inside is a list. Do we want to have a list there or do we want to have an array in there? I think the array would be better for indexing. Inside is an array where we'll do lists for last names. She specifically asked for lists and lists, but then the indexing gets a little bit harder to do.
Yeah, the array, you can do like 3 or 4. It's really cool. I feel like it's multi-dimensional arrays.
So what I want to do is, okay, so let's just call it mine, something short. Let's call it A bracket, none buckets. And now we gotta figure out how we set this up. The inner thing is gonna store so we gotta have it be a list of persons somewhere. And the question is, do I do You wouldn't do an array in an array, you would just do a multi-dimensional array. So we would just do another, you know what I mean? There's no reason to have the array in the array, that's what this is, a multi-dimensional array is the array in the array. Does that seem right?
I think so, yeah, that's correct.
Is it this easy? That we just like take in the user responses and we do like, maybe call this key 1. I'm gonna leave it as key and then we'll add just a new key. You fucking bastard. In key 2. And maybe we'll say key 2. All right, here we go. Key 2 equals hash first char user string 1. And then we tell her we want key bracket key 2. So we're sorting by last name and then first name? I don't know that that's doing what I want it to. Cause then that's allowed, like I could have Juan Jones and David Jones.
I think
It's not necessarily making different lists for each letter category.
I think it's 2 and then just one of the, like the themes.
What do you mean?
So if you go back to where you coded the, right there, instead of num buckets char, I think the first one would just be 2. Yeah, I think the first one is 2 and then the other one stays as num buckets char.
Why?
The first one is, so it's saying that there's 2 lists and the lists have this many inside of the array. You're setting a value to it. I was looking at it through like the whole W3 schools.
What did you search on for W3? Let's see what you got.
I put multi-dimensional arrays. I just searched that up on Google. C++. Because what we want is like 2 schools, right? Like 2 lists, or 2 arrays.
But I'm not wanting.
Both arrays would contain like the amount of letters that it wants. That you want.
Okay.
I think.
You're right. But that's not what I'm looking for. So what I'm thinking is, like, let's write out, like, because it's like, I get Jones, David going in, and right now this is going into bucket J. And then if I do like Jones, Juan, this is also going into bucket J. And bucket J is gonna fill up pretty fucking fast. It's not gonna fill up, it never fills up, but it gets pretty big. Now it gets a little bit manageable. So in bucket J, can I have fucking 26 more buckets? So like this will be the first name bucket. So this will be a D for me, this one's a J for Juan James. But I would go into bucket D at this point. So J has 26 buckets off it.
Oh, I see. Oh, so each letter would have 26, or, okay.
You need an array inside of an array instead of a 2D array?
Yeah, you would need.
That's what I'm thinking. Or if I do it as 26 by 26, like, well, it's 27 because we've got the 0 fucked up, but we'll say 26 by 26. And we got ABC and we got ABC.
And inside of each would be the buckets, like the 20.
And then the way I've got it set up, so like, if I do Jones and David, I'm gonna put a J over here. And let me put a J down here. When I do J and then David, I show up here. David Jones is here. And when I do Jones and then Juan's here. So that like, and then,
That makes sense.
does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it would need to be a 26 by 26.
Yeah.
And the way I do it, drawing the picture helps, actually helps, because like, you're right. If I, the way I was thinking of the 2 by 26 and going, that does not what I wanted.
Yeah. You would have to do.
But 26 by 26 is exactly what I wanted.
And then inside of each of one of those blocks, you have to have a list, right? To like have,
Yeah, and then each one of these is a list,
so like.
which is what we have. So the 26, 26, I think this might be doing it. I think with the 26 and 26, let's test out the print, change the print thing and see what happens. I think that might be it.
It might,
Why does it not like this?
oh, your screen is on.
Excellent.
No, great messages.
Oh, because it's my peeps instead of A.
That's exactly what it is. Okay, and I need to come down here. I want to do these two. Push these because these are already in. P2 equals.
Wait, so would it be an array within array, and inside of that last array would be like a list?
Yeah, so each of these 26 by 26 is a list, but that list has only identical first letters and last letters.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more buckets, 26 squared buckets. But now that you only have people with the same initials,
Yeah, that makes sense.
at least first and last name initials. And being dot. Bracket Q2. I'm expanding on what we got here. This is not me. And now we need this to do, this is gonna be a bitch. Because we need to do loop through all the letters. So this is for last name starting with that. Then we need an inner loop for int j equals 0, j less than num buckets, j plus plus, and now we'll do a C out here that says for first names, char j. We're not doing my peeps anymore, it's just A, right? A, I, then J. Yeah, we're doing last names first. That's how we're storing it. This is gonna be A bracket IJ. And I'm gonna have this one tab once to make it a little bit more readable. And this will do a double tab. So it indents. And that's an A. And that's an A. I thought I changed those earlier. No, I did them up there, but not here. So, we only gotta put in one name, because I already got David Jones in there. So, I'll just use the example I gave. So maybe we need to do it, if the list is fucking blank, we don't print it out. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's too, I don't wanna scroll through all that shit, so. We gotta do it in here. If a or iterator, are we on iterator? Bracket I bracket J. If not iterator I J empty. Let's be smart. It's fucking. Is empty a thing?
You have to dereference.
You're right, I do gotta dereference it. That doesn't like it. Oh, first off, I have one too many of those. All right, how am I dereferencing this? Nope, we're gonna do this. If iterator does not equal aij.end, because if the beginning is the end, it should be the same thing. Does that make sense? We said it at the beginning each time. No, we didn't. I did it there. So I need to change where I do this. I need to do it after that. Which means I want to do, why am I doing the sort before I do the begin? Oh, that makes sense. I'll move this inside the if. Oh my God, what's fucked up here? I'm guessing I'm missing some bucket brackets. See how it is ambiguous, is it really? So what did I fuck up? fucked up something. I got a bracket here, I got C outs, that's good.
But it says you have 11 there, because I think it's all the CLs. It's just like messing with you.
Is it fucking with me? Let me make sure this looks right. Okay, so we got the C out for last names, then we go in here, we sort by the current initials we're on. We start at the beginning, and then we say, if this doesn't actually equal the end. So maybe I could have just up here said, if aij begin does not equal aij.end. But this might still work. Is it just fucking with me? Or are they gonna spit out an error? Okay. Okay. One chance. Look at that beautiful motherfucker. For last name starting with J, for first name starting with D, and then we got Jonah Jameson and Juan John. Oh, look at this! Boom! And we don't have we got all the extra letters for the first one. So maybe I could just make this. So we got that we got that two-dimensional list sorting though going on, don't we?
Yeah.
We got a sorting, well, it's a two-dimensional array, storing lists. So the only thing I would want to make this better as is maybe not do this here. I'm gonna just comment it out rather than delete it. And that was where's the other part of it? No, that was part of it. That was part of it, that was the extra one. So we're gonna come up here and just do if A bracket I bracket J. Nope, that's gotta be on the inside. Oh, no. How do I get this so I don't print out all the empty last names without checking everything in it? Why is it's pissing me off? I don't like the CO. Okay, I'm gonna put this back in.
If last name is, null, I guess, maybe? Or not null, but empty.
But we gotta make sure every single, we do the last name. And we gotta say, do all of the letters empty. So we could do it. We could do this. So let me recomment that shit back up. It's not pleasant. So we're looking at A bracket I. So I'm gonna make Boolean temp equals 0. And I say while temp equals 0. I wanted to go through and just check to see if it's empty. So I needed to go through an entire new sequence like this. And I say if parentheses, A bracket I bracket J. Nope, I can't, well, first off, gotta do J. Can I do empty? Oh, I can, there we go. Empty. So if it's not empty, I'm gonna do this on the outside. If AI bracket is not empty, temp equals 1. And temp equals 0. Change that back to 1. Change that to 1. So if my inner loop, motherfucker, it deleted that again. There we go. So if this inner loop has if it's not empty for any of these letters, temp gets switched to 0. And then while temp is 0,
Or if it is empty, you could also just increase I, right, I plus plus. And that would just skip to the next.
it's gotta check every single last name now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in the while temp equals 0. And then afterwards, I'm gonna come back out and say temp equals 1. So that it restarts the loop and I think this might do it. I think. Nope.
At least your COs aren't bothering you anymore.
I'm missing. Where does it start to bitch about? It's got 43, 29. What's on 43? Nothing's wrong with 43. Do I have enough brackets? So, no, I don't. That's got to end there. It's the while loop. I think that might be it. I think I just missed one. So, we already got a one. We got a. Doesn't matter which one we're doing. One jump again. Not what I wanted. And it just keeps going. So that didn't work. So it's gonna go through, okay, the idea here is it starts out in temp 1. It goes like this is starting at, last name starts with A. This goes through the entire first names, go, is this empty? If it's not empty, change it to 0 so that it will do this loop. I need to put that in here. It's going through, that's the problem. Nope, that ain't gonna help, because it's only just gonna do it. No, it's got the whole for loop. That might do it. I just think I had it in the wrong spot. Well, that didn't work, right? So now it only did the last name starting with J, but then it showed all of these. So I got it not doing all the full names. Now we got to do it so it's not doing all the middle names. So I think I need to put this back in. That's what I had. And I think we can condense this down to only showing people that categories that have a list. Last name, I love that.
Let's go.
Double mic drop. That's pretty fucking cool. Do you not agree? Okay. You need to show Redden how you do this shit, because he doesn't, you know how to do all this. So then we could have it like, if we wanted to, we could make it a 3-dimensional array and sort by ages. Or genders. Or you could start out with the outer dimension being genders.
Yeah.
So it just lists females and males as separate, but like you could. Now it's harder to visualize a 3-dimensional array. Picture a Rubik's Cube if you could see the inside of the Rubik's Cube. This is actually how, this is how fucking high level science is done. You discretize the region you're looking at. So if you've got like a fucking fish tank, you fucking divide the, like, so let's say the length with height, you divide length into n units, width into m units, and height into n units. And so each square is represented by an array of L and N. Did I say L for the first one? Let's go with IJK. IJK is a standard, that's fucking much easier. We know IJK for 3-dimensional vectors. X is I, Y is J, Z is K. So you've got this fish tank, and so in the lower corner is 0, 0, 0. And like you drop like water or dye in it, and you watch the dye dilute. And so you could just record whether or not dye is present in that individual thing.
That's cool.
And then you have it go over time, which means you can, but this is recording every single, let's say it's like every cubic inch. Is there dye present in this cubic inch? Because that's probably too big. You probably want it down to like a millimeter. Millimeters are easier to use. Like a millimeter's going each way. Is there dye present? Yes or no? And then fill in the square. It's harder to do a printout of it because it's hard to print out a 3-dimensional thing. But you could print out a slice and go like, this is what the middle of the tank looks like. If you add a 4th dimension or time, then you can show dispersion or the dispersion of the dye. You need to have the physics modeling the dispersion of the dye in there, but you have it checking at IJK, and then you show how it adapts over time, so you can check at different timestamps. That's what my graduate school was on. I was doing astrophysics, modeling solar, like a solar flare rising to the surface. And we had a 3-dimensional thing where it's doing a 3-dimensional environment, but we only showed the cross section of where the flare was gonna be, showing it rise up. But that's how like high level science works. You can't do that shit by hand. Like really, like you to figure out what's going on, just keeping track of everything. You can't do it by hand. So the computer's gotta keep track of it, so you gotta code it all up, which means you gotta code up how it figures out where everything is. So you got IJK for XYZ coordinates, so 3-dimensional space. You're gonna have a 4th dimension for time, which is usually what we have. We usually have time in there. Model what happens in space over time, apply the physics in there, keep track of it at every timestamp. Now, you can imagine, even if it's like a meter by a meter by a meter, and we're doing every millimeter, it's 1,000 by 1,000 by 1,000, which is 1 billion cells at each timestamp. We're talking supercomputer shit at this point. That's what I was working on. UC Santa Cruz has a supercomputer, so not, well, it'll call some, am I using the wrong word?
No, supercomputers.
Supercomputers, right? I'm like fucking brain farting right now. You can't do it, like, I did run it on my laptop, but it took fucking forever. I like run it for 4 days. This is after I came home, because I'm like getting ready to start teaching at COS part-time, but I hadn't finished my master's yet. I was right at the end. I needed some final little things, and I didn't have access to the supercomputer at home. So I just letting that shit run, but I want it, you know. That's how this works. Same thing we just did right here, but this was doing lists and stuff, but that's how science works. Good stuff?
Good stuff.
All right, any questions?
You can also like check for its presence where it was, and then after a timestamp, how it's like it disperses, it's no longer there. It's like
Right,
check if that's where it was.
you can have it update, okay, so,
Like true and then false.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
is it, each timestamp, is it here, is it not here? Generally, if it's there, it's not moving away, like dye just spreads, it doesn't move out, it's like a disease, it doesn't go away. It's a disease with no cure and no, like, it's like Walking Dead shit. If you're a zombie, you're a zombie. That's it, that's all I got for you on this one. So, this is all the hard shit that you're gonna learn in this class. We've done lists, linked lists, we've done maps, we've done binary search trees, hash tables. From here on, we're just learning like file management system, this function, some minor shit. File management is really like, why the fuck don't we lead with this? Because this would be so much more useful to do all this shit. In fact, when I teach this again, maybe I'll see if I can change the file management. That way you can like build a database, upload the database, because like, that's what you would do with this. You wouldn't want to regenerate this each time. You would want to be able to load a file, add or delete people to it, save the file so that you could access it again later. That's what we'll study next. But that shit's easy. This is all the hard shit, and we just did multi-dimensional arrays with lists. We made a super badass program. Well, Shimsy didn't, because he just showed up.
Yeah, I'm not even on X function yet, but for binary tree, I was talking a lot about this, and for some reason, mine, even copying and pasting the whole code, it's not.
It's like Apple bullshit, isn't it?
It's not working. Like, but the thing, I was playing around with it, and the root, it seems like when passing it through the function without having any it connected to anything, so it's still a null pointer. It's not creating the initial node, which doesn't really make sense to me because it should, all the logic's there correctly. But when I manually created the node and then I passed the root through to add more nodes to it, it worked. Now,
Did you try sending it to Juan and see if it worked on his computer? Like,
no, I'm sure it works. It's just.
because I'm wondering if it's just the Apple versus window.
It might be I was thinking.
Or Apple versus
it's like
PC.
the OS, like depending on what the OS is.
Right.
If you send it through the homework chat, I can copy and paste that.
Alright, and then.
Oh, you can send it to me too, I'll do it as well.
Alright, and then.
I need to get caught up on all you guys' I need to get caught up on all you guys' submissions since the midterm.
But
That's my Thanksgiving break, fucking break my ass, I'm gonna be working.
And later on, we're working with CSV files as well, right? Is that what
Yeah, that's the file system I was talking about.
and then one more, it was when you were trying to pass through the objects. It's the same thing, so I had to play around with it to see.
Just send us your code as it is, we'll see if it runs on our side.
Alright, it's.
Because if it runs on our side, it's your just bitchy Apple system. I don't know.
I don't know, man, because I'm copying it exactly the way you have it, and it makes sense. Like you're just passing, you're passing it as an object. It all makes sense.
So like the program as is that I copied, it doesn't run on yours even though we ran it?
But
Yeah.
the thing is there's no error, so it's just a runtime error.
Is it returning a void, or is it returning?
No, so it'll return this. It says bad access.
Now I wonder, did you like maybe try include C standard library, maybe like some shit that Visual Studios is auto doing, I might forget, like, I have it here, but I can't say I've done it every time. So include C standard library, maybe that is what's missing, CSTD LIB. That might be what's
I mean,
missing.
it should work, like, it doesn't make sense not to.
And the fact that it's not giving you
This is the
errors.
fucking sexiest thing I ever made, my program right here. I wanna send this to Red and say, this is what you really do.
There's like one way you can fix it.
You think I should, huh? You guys think I should send this to Mr. Redden? This is what you're not teaching your students, but
I was playing around with toggles the other day. They're really cool because you can like get multiple outputs.
Dude,
Did it work?
dude, that was terrible time!
did I fucking solve it? Bam!
Where's Trevor?
No way, bro, no way!
That's how you do it, that's why you are but the learner and I am not.
Dude.
Now, that's my bad.
But I mean,
Email me what section that was, so I need to now add it to the code. No, I'll just need to go through my codes and I need to manually go.
no way, no way, no way!
I'm glad I fixed it.
No, but you know how many hours I spent trying to figure out what I was making?
You just, did anyone say Mr. Jones on Discord? You got any
No, that was
ideas?
me, that was me.
You have access to me.
That was me.
I check Discord all the fucking time, it's on my phone.
I took it over.
I don't have it on my laptop because there's too many notifications. I can't.
Oh, you can do it.
So this
You can use
is
it
the
too.
sexiest code you will ever
That's what I
read.
do. I have way too many notifications, so I always mute them.
That is
Oh
crazy.
shoot, I forgot to.
Multi-dimensional
Tonight,
hash tables.
when should I make sure I ask CSTD list at it? Because I typically would do
You
that
should
for
do it every time, you should have it every
every
time.
time.
Yeah, that might be what's wrong every single time.
So I know you use it for
Anything that has,
Windows.
is from the standard library, like, I think C out is in the standard library.
Yeah, it's because Visual Studio's kind of already, it's connected with Microsoft, so it's like it has to do with the architecture of how code is actually designed. So somewhere down after the assembler and after the compiler and after all of that, there's this thing called a linker. And the linker.
I was getting linker command errors the whole time.
Yeah,
Was
okay,
from that?
okay, was that, okay, that's probably, was that what it
I
was?
thought, because I was looking it up.
So, yeah.
But
so-
I don't.
So like C++ is high level language, but it's a compiled language.
Yeah.
So you have C++, which goes into the compiler,
I'm mailing that to
which
Mr.
goes
Redden.
into assembly language, which goes into, I think, eventually this linker. And this linker has two different things coming in from it. Coming into it.
Library or what?
Yeah, exactly. The libraries that are already installed into your, you use Xcode, right? So these are the libraries that already come. These are the local ones. But then it also has to use this other thing, like for example, the CSTD.lib or the CSTD.lib. That's those are other libraries that it has to kind of download and know what to use. And then after that, it goes back into like machine code, and then it returns back from using the IO stream. So if you ever see the linker error or whatever, that's kind of when that's a really good sign that you have to use CSTD.lib. So it's just, there you go. Because he asked. I was gonna say, you can always get a Microsoft computer,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
a Windows.
I'm pissed. I'm so pissed. I'm pissed.
No,
Is there test today or not?
that's today. It's in December.
Chess.
Oh, chess. I didn't announce it. I didn't announce it because I don't think I'll be able to go, but I thought somebody else might.
You said there's ethnic holidays.
Yeah, I think I'll forget. There's actually, I'll recommend you.
What?
Starts at 5:30. But there's a person from Microsoft that's gonna do the whole.
Juan, do you have that receipt?
I gave it to them. For the checks?
I don't plan to give it to you, we're supposed to give it to you. When you were giving it to money, I'm supposed to get the receipt to get reimbursed.
He also takes the class.
If he still has it, okay.
Yeah, I think he still probably has it. I'll ask him real fast.
Okay, I'll be over and. So what are you guys, you have a test tonight? What do you mean a test tonight?
We thought for the test Thursday, or test class,
Oh,
but there's not a class.
Actually,
The next test is December.
it's after Thanksgiving. And you know what, I wanted, like, I'm probably gonna send out an announcement. Do we want a second test and then in the final like a week later, or do we just want one more test?
I'm cool with that test. What's the final gonna be on? Everything? Everything throughout the whole
Yeah.
time? I'm cool.
The
Just
final
one more
is
test?
easy points too.
I mean, it's up to you though.
I'm just saying, the final would be really easy points, because if you're like fine with the first half of everything, which is.
I mean, the first half is easy.
Exactly,
It
those are
wasn't-
3
I'm
points.
not gonna say it's easy, but it was definitely,
Well, the idea is that it gets easy,
it did get easier. So it, in a way, it made,
called
it made
math.
sense. The first part makes sense.
Yeah, so it's pretty, the whole like first half would be 3 points for you, and the second half is where you have to worry about.
Wow, I'm getting it.
But we're gonna have a final either way. The question is, do we have a test on the second,
Oh, I see.
like chapters 4 through 6?
So you're saying not do the test at all and then just do the final?
Yeah. Right now, it was designed to have 2 tests and a final.
Is the test gonna be the same as just the code project and then going through the recursion for the traversal? Or
The second test, like,
The second test would be the second half.
the second half, so we've done search tree, we've done maps, we've done, I don't know if there was a recursive trace in there or not. I could make a recursive
and
trace.
then you're probably gonna do like the sorts and all?
Yeah, a question on the source, or like, you all seem to be working hard, so I might just make the final a fucking take home.
Honestly, when you, for the, man, was it the project, the recent project? It was a project, right? Was it?
But I need more information than that.
Was it the chapter 4 design project? Was that it?
There's a challenging one in there, I know, some of them are challenging.
Well, all I know is the last project we had, I thought it was for points. I mean, it's good I did it, I was gonna do it regardless, but I thought it was for points, and I'm like, submit, I realized it was under project, and I was like, oh my.
Oh, shoot. I need to try to start people.
I probably.
That's funny.
I'm starting now, right?
Yeah, no, it starts at 5:30. That's when like the food is getting handed out and everything. But if you're just like, if you're gonna do homework or something, you can, you know. But there is a speaker in there, so just let
I
me.
wanted to, I mean, I probably wanted to hear it, but I have.
I'm getting tired of hearing.
I have to sleep.
Just try to whenever you want. You don't have to like that. That's what I'm doing.
Alright, Professor Jones.
Peace.
Yeah.
Thank you.